Good morning. Hi Nature Nuts kids. This is Miss Krista. Since you guys can't come to the park and join me for Nature Nuts right now because it's just not safe to do that, I thought I would bring Nature Nuts to you right there in your house. Isn't that cool? So run and go get a blanket if you want to sit on a blanket, and you can join me in just a second for some Nature Nuts fun. We're going to talk about bird nests today. All right, so as we talk about bird nests, you guys have probably seen one before, right? Sometimes a nest can be really high up in a tree or really low to the ground. Sometimes I've even seen bird nests right next to somebody's door of their house, like on the top of a light. You might have a light here and it's right on top. I've also seen a bird build a nest in like the letters at a store. If you go to Walmart or Target, way up high above the door, so before you even go inside, sometimes you might see a nest in there. Those are birds that build those nests. I've even seen a bird build a nest inside an old boot that sat on my mother-in-law's porch for a long time. They loved it in there. But why does a bird build a nest? Why do they do that? Well, it's to protect something very special inside. Something that you guys, I'm sure, know. What does a bird put inside of a nest once it builds it? It is usually oval shaped. Sometimes they're white, sometimes they're blue, sometimes they have polka dots and speckles on them. You guys know what I'm talking about? Eggs. That's right. The eggs are where the baby bird hatches from. And so when a bird makes a nest, it has to make it so that it's a good place for a baby bird to live. A good place so the eggs don't roll away. A good place to keep them protected from predators. A good place to keep them out of the cold or the hot sun. And so a nest is an important thing. And a lot of birds, they build their nests by what they can find around them. So let's look at a few nests and we'll talk about what they're made of. Okay? There's a lot of very interesting things that birds use to build nests. Okay, so we'll start with one that's probably real common. This is a nest from the house wren. And a house wren is something that uses, can you see that? Sticks. They love to build with little sticks, sometimes just tiny little sticks. Now, other birds, like an eagle or a hawk, they use big sticks, really, really long sticks and thick ones, and they usually build them really high up in a tree. So this is a little different, but they use what they have around them. They use sticks. Now, not all birds use sticks though. So I have another nest here. This is actually made by a bluebird. And the bluebird, do you see sticks in there? No, no sticks. This is all made from dried grasses. It makes a really nice, comfortable, cozy little nest for the eggs and the babies to be in. And they only use grasses. Now, there's another bird that you often see close to bluebirds. They also use dried grass, but they do something special. They actually line it with, can you see what those are? Feathers. Feathers make the inside of that nest where the babies and the eggs are gonna be really soft, really protected, keeps them nice and cozy and warm inside. And so the tree swallow is the one that does that nest. Now, believe it or not, there are a few birds out there that use trash in their nests. Trash! String, paper, I've seen them use plastic before, things that you and I would maybe recycle or throw away. A bird might pick that up and weave it right into their nest. Now let me show you an example. This is a really common bird that we see a lot around our houses. This is the robin, and a robin, they use mud to hold all the grasses together, but do you guys see this little black string right here? This is actually like a plastic ribbon that's used by the robin. They weave it and mold it right into their nest to make it strong and sturdy. They find what they need, don't they? Now, there's something else that some animal or some birds use. This one is very cool. This is a tiny little bird. They have tiny little eggs, And it's called the black-capped chickadee. They actually will find fur from animals. You see that orange fur in there? I wonder what kind of animal that came from. They also will find fluffy stuff. They might use moss from a rock or a log, and they'll line their nest with this really soft, cozy stuff for their babies. When they hatch out, they have a nice, warm, protected place to be and to grow. And some of them are really, really good builders. Some birds are. This one is one we see here in the summertime. Haven't seen them yet this spring, but this is one from a previous year, a year before. This is actually a nest. And if you look down in there, it's like a bag. And way down in there is where they'll lay their eggs and they'll raise their babies in there. This is a nest that hangs from a tree branch and is one that's used by and made by the Baltimore Oriole. Beautiful, bright orange and black bird. And we only see them in the summer, but we do see them around here a lot. This last nest that I'm going to show you is actually from our smallest little bird. It's from the hummingbird. And look at how tiny it is. We even put it in a case to protect it because it's so tiny and fragile. This one is built from fluffy stuff like fur or cattail fuzz, or even dandelion seeds, the fluffy white stuff, milkweed seeds, and then you'll never guess what they use to stick it all together with. They go around and collect a very sticky substance made by spiders. Spider web. This little chicken, or the hummingbird, will collect spider web and weave it around all the fluffy stuff they found to make this perfect little cup nest to hold their little tiny eggs in. Isn't that amazing? We don't see those very often because they're so small and easily hidden. So that's a treat, a special treat for us today. Now, what I would like you to do, now that you know a little bit more about bird nests, I would like you to go outside. Get permission from your parents. Go on a little walk around your yard or in your neighborhood with your family and see if you can find any bird nests. There's birds all around us. If you listen closely, you can hear them calling. You might even see a bird fly around. And as we get closer and closer to summer, you might actually see them building a nest too. So get out there and see what you can find. And in the meantime, if it's a cold day or a rainy day and you just don't want to go outside that day, I challenge you to build a nest. Do a little pretending and see if you can't find stuff at your house, like blankets or pillows or stuffed animals, or just be creative. Find something to build a nest. It could be a small nest, or it could be a nest big enough for you to fit in. That's up to you. But I would love to see photos of it if you could. You can send them to me, you can email them to me, or even post them on our Facebook page. That would be great too, because I'm sure lots of other people would love to see your awesome creations. So I miss seeing you guys, and I can't wait until it's safe enough for us to get together again and continue our Nature Nuts classes, because they're so much fun. But in the meantime, you enjoy this video, and I hope you had fun learning about bird nests. Bye, see you later.